So it's been 37 years since Elvis Presley died, but the legend, the king of rock and roll, lives on. For those fans who wonder, what would it have been like if Elvis were still alive? Well, there's a new book. It is called Saving the King. Authors George and Christine Gomez are here with us. Welcome.
Thanks.
Thank you. So you wrote the book together. How does that work?
Very hard. It's not as easy as people think, writing with your spouse. But it was a dream of mine. I was 16 when he died. I lived in Nashville. And back then, they didn't have 24-hour cable. They didn't have internet, cell phones. So when he died, it was like a shock to millions of his fans. And I was just thinking, how can I change this?
And Christine, when I think about this, I think about James Dean, Michael Jackson, and now Robin Williams. Elvis Presley, right in that category. We've lost so many people who seemed like they had so much more to give to their fans, but yet they died relatively young. And that's sort of what the premise of the book is about. What if Elvis had lived?
Yeah, it really was a tragedy that he died so young, and it was such a shock to all of his fans. And so this really is a shout out to his fans to give them a look at what it might have been like had he been able to be saved and fight those demons of addiction and his afflictions.
What is it about Elvis Presley that people are still enthralled with?
Well, he is the king, but you know, he never did like that title. Mm-hmm. But he was royalty. I mean, he always said he was at the right place with the right song with the right people. And he was like it's a meteorite just coming down to the earth, and bang, everybody was just all shook up.
Yeah, he changed everything, really, in the world of rock and roll.
I think he had one of the greatest voices ever that music's ever heard. And that charisma was so mesmerizing.
That stage presence, and it just played out in movies and in his concerts. You talk about how you were such a huge fan, but the book is not just for fans of Elvis Presley. It's for anybody who wants to read a good book.
It is. It's a book of redemption, second chances. It's a book of how, like we said, what if God gave him a second chance? It's a book of paying it forward. And also it's really timely because I'm a big entertainment freak. I see a lot of movies and actors and on. And prescription medications, it's an epidemic these days. And I just wanted the fans to see how Elvis could defeat those. And he could if he had the right help at that time.
All right, give us a little insight. Does Elvis go to rehab?
Christine wants to.
Well, he does get whisked away and taken to a secluded island and forced to go through rehab. Yes.
Forced.
So it's like an intervention.
It is an
Elvis intervention.
It is an Elvis intervention, exactly.
What would have happened if Elvis had lived, do you think? Would we still be hearing his music?
I asked that question a lot. I don't know if he at 80 years, well, he'll be 80 this January. I don't know if 80 he would be still singing. He would be getting a lot of awards. He might have been secluded. He might have just stayed in Memphis and Graceland. But I know we would have heard just extraordinary more music because his voice was still so endearing and so strong. And his closeness to his daughter. I mean, his daughter, Lisa Marie Presley, she's singing right now. She's doing some concerts, but you know, that interaction would still be there. And his 4 grandchildren, he would have seen and hooked up with his grandkids a lot, riding horses and golf carts that he did with Lisa Marie and Graceland.
I think a lot of fans wonder what if, and you actually put it into a book. Is there anything new that you learned about Elvis through writing the book?
I learned quite a bit about Elvis because growing up, I really listened to different music. It wasn't until I hooked up with George, and he was such a big Elvis fan, that I started learning more about him. And through writing the book, I really did learn that he was a really generous person. He gave a lot of himself to people, and he would just literally give the shirt off of his back for people.
And you sort of put that presence in the book. It has a lot of historical accuracy. I'm reading through the dialogue, just amazing dialogue. You're getting great reviews on Amazon, 5 stars. I think somebody wrote on there, it makes you feel like Elvis is still alive.
Oh, and how many of us would love that? And you know, I never was one of them that really felt that he was still alive. I know I can understand why people thought that, but I think he died on that Dreadful, Tuesday night on August 16th, 1977.
Still alive in the book only. All right, George and Christine, thank you so much. Again, it's a new book. It's called Saving the King. For more information about the book and the authors, George and Christine Gomez, go to our website. It's kcal9.com. You can click Seen on TV.